What's good, my people? Welcome back into this week, and you are listening to Kickin It at Mellow, and this is your girl, Ashley Elise, and in the back, we got the producer, I'm Mellow. She got a mic, so you might hear it today, and to my left, we have...
She got a mic, but it ain't for Lil D though. No, but it's the one and only Brandon DeVinson back here on the couch, you know what I'm saying, ready to have a nice, enjoyable conversation, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, sounds smooth again, like late night R&B vibes. And we back
Always.
at it. So hopefully you guys, what are you doing? Like, where you at? Like, you in the car? You on the toilet type thing? You in the tub? You on the beanbag? You in the bed? Like, couch? Like, what's the vibe? What's the move? Anyways, let's get into it. Catch us up. What you been doing this week? Give us a highlight. Give us something. Give us some flavor.
Mm, this one tough. I had a lot of highlights. A lot of highlights from this past week. Dang, what week? Oh, well, I mean, I guess I could just sum it up as just, getting to go home, being in Dallas. Man, it was cool. I hadn't been back since, shoot, last year. I don't know when last year. I'm trying to think. Sometime in the fall last year. So, I mean, it was it was cool, man, getting to see family, getting to see, get friends, close people, little TJ. Little TJ is kind of cool to see that. Little nephew, um, seeing my parents, everybody. No, it was definitely a good time. Got to chill, relax, and now it's back to work.
Dang,
That easy.
it sounded a little depressing on the end there, didn't
No,
it?
it wasn't depressing.
Right, because you making money.
No. I wasn't talking about that work. I was still working though. I was
Oh,
working.
right.
I was
You
working
was
in
working
Dallas.
like the whole time.
Yeah, I was working Monday through Thursday.
Big
But
facts.
I mean, back to this work.
Okay. All right. Ask me about how my week was.
Oh, I was just,
Golly.
I was trying to have that little,
Stop it.
be a little dramatic.
Come on, slide it over. Actually, how was your week?
Let them know. But no, yeah, so how was your week though? Did you enjoy your week? I know it went by kind of a little fast, a little expeditiously.
You don't know about my week?
Oh, that's right. Let me speak for myself.
Let's speak myself.
Myself.
Anyways, cut it. My week was pretty like chill. I was on alleged spring break. I don't really know if it was like spring break vibes. It's definitely not like high school and like undergrad type spring break because I was definitely on my computer like every day. Like, oh my
Me too.
gosh, didn't feel like a break at all.
Right.
But no, I want to say it was cool. I would say like a moment or like something that I thought was like dope. I found myself in the company or like in an environment in which I felt like I could just be myself type thing. I don't know, like I was present to be able to recognize that whoever it is that I presented, like it was okay. Like I was like, yo, like this is dope. I don't have to be any other person or anything like other than myself in this space, and I appreciate that. I'm pretty sure like it's like prevalent like in other aspects of my life, but or with other relationships of like people, but just actually feeling it in the moment, like it's mad dope.
Shout out to you for that.
Shout out
That's super
to the people, the person, the space.
Yeah, all
Appreciate
that.
it. Appreciate it. Ooh. But anyways, that's the highlight. That's the I'm Lola. You wanna say something? Yeah, nay. All right,
It's
bet.
not plugged in.
Handshake.
It's legit not plugged in.
She's just over there looking like it's just straight optics.
One day.
One day. She's an imposter, guys. So yeah. Yo. I think my guy, the one and only, the Vincent, wanted to bring you guys a topic because he said that he was having some experiences with it. And I believe the word is imposter syndrome. That's why I call him Lola Imposter. Even though she kind of is our kid.
Imposter.
Big head. But for the people who don't know what imposter syndrome is, how about you give us a definition, Vincent?
Yeah, no, definitely would do that. Let's go to that good old Wikipedia, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, we all love Wikipedia back in those days, in the college days. So it says, imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishments and has a persistent, internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud.
Why do you sound like somebody's pastor or deacon, bro?
You know,
Reading Bible scriptures.
maybe somebody want me to do a voiceover. You don't know. This is my chance. You know what I'm
They
saying?
make money.
Exactly. They make a lot of money.
They make money.
So maybe I need to read more.
Okay. So that's...
I should start. Maybe I can start an app like reading bedtime stories or something. That'd be smart, huh?
Ew.
Ew. People be doing that. People want to listen to bedtime stories. Well, okay, what was your class though?
Okay, let me not say that.
They got an app like that though, for real. Where they be. Okay, let me not say that. All right, go ahead.
I'm about to say I could be the voice. You feel me? A lot of people.
Now she want to be a part of it. Now she want to be in the.
Hey, I need to make money because what med school is EBT. So okay, that was Wikipedia's definition, but
Yeah.
I think I asked like for you to help the people out, like put it in your own words, like throw it out there. What is it?
Well, for me, it's just any moment where I hesitate, or I have any type of timidness moving forward, based off of any sort of like uncertainty I have with myself and the confidence in myself wherever I'm at. So I guess to give an example, like, you know, a lot of people feel this at work, you know, especially at a job. Maybe you got on out of college, or, you know, you might have, you know, you reach for the stars getting something and you have to learn a lot on the job and everything, and maybe you feel like you're not learning as fast as you want to. You have these unreal expectations in your head, and so now you're feeling like you're behind, or you always lost in meetings, stuff like that. Like, oh, we had this in school. I know, as an engineering major, definitely felt like an imposter, because I did not know what was going on most of the time in them classes, but somehow it got to the test, and shoot, man, I don't know. Somebody was on my side. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. And you feel like you just not belonging, or you're not doing what is expected of you, but you actually probably are. It's just hard for you to accept your accomplishments or your achievements or where you've gotten to in that time period that you've been there, type thing.
Somebody was on my side. Me looking. I did that.
Got Ashley in the back, and then Ashley in the back, and then another Ashley, and the Ashley up there.
They everywhere. We
all
pulling
up
each
there.
other together. You feel me?
Yeah, Ashley gang.
Oh man. Okay. Imposter syndrome. You know, I've never heard that word until I started medical school. They kept throwing that word out, and I remember saying like, "Who? Not me. Like, I'm not an imposter. Like, no, I don't feel that way. Like, I don't know what y'all talk about. Like, I didn't lie to get in here. Like, what's on my resume? That's really me. Like, what you see now, I told you about this before y'all let me in here, type thing. So I never really, I don't think even to this point that I've like accepted that as like something like for me in my space, and that could be a part of the cycle of someone who has imposter syndrome. I think the term was coined by women who were doing research over this sensation that they first like attributed to like women having like these feelings, like being in these like executive roles or like roles that have like more power than a woman like is actually typically given, like based off of like traditional like ways type thing. And this is how this term like came to be. But I think for me, I think the sensation or like the term is actually just like relevant whenever you find somebody in a space and there's not many of them type thing. Like I felt it, or like I guess you could say like I felt it, or like the people who look like me felt it. I'm in med school because there's not many of us. Like we don't make up 10% of the class, or like just in medicine in general, if somebody's feeling it, whether you're a woman or whether you're a minority, like why do you feel this way? Like why is this term like more so associated with you? Well, shoot, would it be if there was like many versions or representations of you in a given space to make your presence seem actually like legit type thing? Like you're here for a purpose, like for a reason, not for a numbers game.
Right. And it's actually when you said that, it made me think about well, shout out to you one time anyway, being a black woman in that field.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
That's a tough one right there. So what I'm about to say, it doesn't compare in a sense, but in my own experience, in regards to numbers and whatnot, um, I would say that a lot of times it's like a balance between being proud of your position, but also knowing that there's a lot of work to do, like not on your end, but also within the place that you're at, and it kind of takes being there to kind of realize like, yeah, man, that's a lot of work needs to be done. So like even with me, like with the offer I got and where I work, well y'all know, but a lot of people may not know, the recruiting pool that I was in, that I got hired for in my exact like role, they were doing, like a diversity, equity and inclusion type event, in which for this one they were going to a lot of schools that they typically don't go to, because a lot of these companies, they go to like, the big schools, big name schools. I ain't really gonna name them out.
Right.
Don't care to give them notoriety, but
Right.
for us, at PV, we always kind of look for, the best, opportunities, and then we go out and try to represent ourselves. And so this company, they came, and one of our schools was well, PV was a part of it, and I ended up getting an offer. Later on, fast forward, when I saw the roster, everyone that got hired from my same position all across the nation, it was a little over 170, a little over 175. And I'm just looking at everybody on the list. I'm looking at all the schools, and I go down, and there's only one person that was hired for the role title in which I am, from a HBCU, and that was me. And so it was kind of, I was, it's a proud moment to be the one, but also at the same time it's like, well, dang, what does this mean?
PV produces productive people.
Well, yeah, but outside of that, it's like, dang, it still feels like it's a lot of work, to be done. Now, not saying that there's not, Prairie View or the HBCUs represented at this company. It's just for my particular role. I did come from an engineering background, a little more technical, so it is what it is. However, one, I don't know.
My bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said 175?
It's a little over 175 and only one from HBCU.
Okay, so that kind of like reminds me of like my class. It's a class of 240. Out of my class, only two of us came from HBCU, and I'm from PV, and the other students from Xavier. So I'm like, bro, we we did what? Like, it's not like, did we not apply here or something? Like,
Right.
it's crazy. But I think just period, like before me, I think the class above me, there was like one person from PV. I feel like each time there's like one person from PV. Like there's not a lot of us, and I'm pretty sure like the people who go to PV that like want to do like medical school, I think that they would love the opportunity to come to my school. Not, I don't think my school like counts us out per se, but I do know that it is challenging coming from a HBCU trying to enter into medical school. Even if you go to a HBCU medical school, it also makes it challenging for you to apply for a job, aka like a residency like program. I think it's more challenging to do that than coming from the traditional medical school. I think it's just all wild, high key. Bummer. Anyways, I guess speaking on the whole thing of like imposter syndrome and like how it could possibly be like an occurrence or like more prevalent like amongst people who are like in spaces where there isn't much like representation type thing. How do you think it makes an individual feel in these spaces, like when there isn't much representation, and then they feel themselves like having these terms associated with imposter syndrome, such as like, I don't know, anxiety or fear? Like, do you think that they are more fearful of failure, or more fearful of the work that it'll take to be successful in their role or position?
Yeah, um, that's a loaded question. I can only speak from my perspective,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I think it's completely different when you talk about a black woman in especially like corporate
They
or
fight.
this in the big areas where it's like they're really underrepresented. So for me, this is me, young black male, and my personal experiences. It's a balance of both. As far as uh, I don't necessarily I feel like I thrive in places to where it's like underrepresented because I feel like that's more pressure
Careful, wait.
to be, you know, prominent, to be cold. I don't necessarily care to be the best in the corporate world. It's my opinion. But I want to have a good, uh, what's the word? A good rapport. People are gonna know me and know what I do, and know that I'm passionate about myself, and my personal development and my professional development when it comes down to things that in regards to me and the betterment of whatever it is that we're doing. Um, with that being said, like I said, I like pressure. I know a lot of people don't like pressure, but I like pressure because pressure, that's the chance when you really get that chance to grow. It's like that's when the challenge comes. It's like, okay, bet. I embrace it. So that's one. But I think now in regards to failure versus success, well, actually, we can do that next. I'll let you answer first in regards to the underrepresentation. Do you feel like there's pressure with people or individuals when they're in situations where they don't really see a lot of us? You know.
Um, Probably I would say like being the only person or like one of the two in my class, like coming from an HBCU. My question was why? Like, why aren't there more of us? Like, are we not applying here? So I just felt this like unspoken pressure to perform well. Like, are they not selecting us because they don't think that we can achieve in this like rigorous like program? So like, let me pull my weight. Like, let me make something shake. Like, let me be a good example of somebody who comes from a HBCU and we're just as intelligent as anyone else type thing. Um, so it was just like that unspoken pressure, and then not only that, but like also like I'm a woman, and then also like I'm African American. So it's just like, well, I don't see much of this. Well, my class actually is like 50. We're a little bit more like women like this year, starting to like enroll more women. But still, it's just like, yo, these leadership roles, like I don't see that. Like, how do I get to like those spaces type thing, or have those opportunities? I don't know. There isn't much representation, so it's like, how do I get through these doors? I can only like focus on the fact of like, oh, I'm an HBCU grad, I'm black, and I'm a woman. So how can I make all three of those components look good? I'm like many other things, but it's like, how do I make all three of these components look good so you can continue to allow us into these spaces? And even when I say like allow us into these spaces, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like, we are fire. I'm fire, bro. I don't know. Like, I don't need no hype man. Like, I'm fire. I'm dope. Like, it is a privilege to be able to interact with me, and I feel like anybody and everybody should feel like that. But also at the same time, I feel like my failure is weighed heavier than someone else's failure because it's an opportunity to say, "I told you so," or "This is why we don't." And I'm just like, yikes! Why can't it be weighed or measured like everyone else type thing? So this thought of failure does creep in every now and then. But I also think it's me. I'm a perfectionist. I always want to get things right. So I'm gonna say probably like components of imposter syndrome has something to do with your upbringing. It's not just an environment that isn't adequately like representative of like you as a person or like people that look like you type thing. It could have components to do with your upbringing.
Right. And when you mentioned something that made me actually think of I almost missed out on the opportunity because like imposter syndrome was like heavy. It was like heavy. And I don't know if it was exactly imposter syndrome, but I feel like that's the only thing I can really categorize it as.
You're going to disqualify yourself.
Right, I was literally going to disqualify myself. It's funny. I just realized that we didn't have that light on this whole time. That's kind of funny. But I just realized that. But so going through the process of like applying and going to all these different doing interviews, whatever the case may be, um, when this particular company, the company I work for right now, when they gave me the chance or the opportunity to interview with them, I already knew of the reputation of this company, and I knew that a lot of people prepare for months on end for opportunity here at this company.
Yeah, I remember.
And so for me, I seeing the numbers, hearing all the things, seeing all this stuff, it's like, bro, how did I? In my mind, I'm like, bro, how did they select me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what did I do? And then I gotta take you into the mind of like where I was. Like I was just getting a groove at school, like finishing my master's program. Like I heard a lot of no's.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a verbal offer rescinded.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a flurry of things that have gone on that have sort of altered my perception or my overall inner confidence and my abilities to perform in a work environment. And so with that, I had the opportunity, and we were only given like I think like at the time it was like I think 10 days to prepare, and we were having 3 interviews in one day. Um, and so that was a lot for me. So when it got to the morning of, I hadn't practiced like I wanted to because I was still working at Dick's Sporting Goods. Um, and so that morning of, I was this close to not showing up. And the reason why I wasn't gonna show up is because there was another company that I really wanted to work for, that I had finished my final stages and I was supposed to hear something back like the next week. And so I was like, man, I really feel like I felt confident in what I was in my ability and what I did with that. And I didn't want to show up to this interview and then not do right by Prairie View. Like I come in unprepared, and it's just like, man, like I put a shame to like, my school, they come out here and do this, and it's like this. When I got in, I somehow, some way built up the confidence. That morning, I looked up case studies and whatnot, and I did one, and I wrote down, because it was a virtual interview, so I wrote down my process of how I can go through doing this case study, and I just had those notes with me. And so when I got into the first interview, lo and behold, it was a black woman, a manager. She was doing my first case study. She graduated from Baylor, and she had nephews that went to Prairie View. And I don't know why, it was just so relaxing and so just like, man, like this is crazy. Like I'm blessed that she was my first interviewer. And she had told me, she was like, man, you're the only one that came in here with a suit on and all this other stuff. Like nobody came in like this. And she was like, I like that, whatever, all this other stuff. And then like when I was getting through the interview and stuff like that, it's as if she was kind of helping me. Like she knew that I was on track and she was helping me get there. And in the end, she helped me in regards to my next case study, which was a little harder. She helped me, gave me some key points and stuff like that in order to help me get through. And then I ended up getting the offer. Right. So you can really just have that confidence in yourself, man. Because even though I didn't practice all those times previously, I had been practicing because I've been doing those interviews. I've been doing the resumes. I've been working on questions. I had a question bank full of stuff. Just because you don't directly prepare for like one interview in particular doesn't mean you haven't been doing the things that could prepare you forward. You know what I'm saying? So
right. I think what I wanted to say like 30 words ago from you is sometimes like you may not feel like adequate enough for the spaces or the doors that are open for you to walk through, and I think that's okay, because maybe that like serves as a reminder for you to like be with yourself, to acknowledge like, who am I, like who is this person that like I'm functioning as, type thing, and recognize like, yo, the door open for me. And even if the door was open, I like happened to walk by, this was probably my opportunity. Right. Let me just walk through it. And when you walk through it, if you like struggle with walking through it, you may encounter people who may like see something in you or acknowledge something in you that you aren't able to do in that present moment type thing. So even when you can't show up for yourself or recognize your greatness, I think it's dope when the universe like puts things or people in place who can actually see it in that present moment to be able to give you that encouragement of like, yo, like you dope, like yo, like you ready, and even if you're not ready, like you can become ready, you're capable type thing. Those spaces like that lady, like maybe it could have been a PV thing, maybe it could have been a black thing, or maybe it could have just been like this person presented themselves in this manner and I recognize these characteristics in this person. This person is more than ready for whatever position that we throw their way type thing. And I think that's dope. Oh my God. And this is the part where we probably go ahead and put it what? Pin in it. You know, we think this is probably a good stopping point right here. We gave y'all like a brief little introduction on imposter syndrome, and we've actually touched on quite a few bases. But stay tuned later on this week because we actually started dropping keys towards the end. So check it out. We appreciate you for coming to the space, but come back, sweetie, come back, okay? Tell me something. My knee is
ashy.
Hooey.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding on the ashiness. I'm kidding on the ashiness. I don't even know. You just don't put on lotion half the time. That's all.
Dang.
You ain't trying to be carrying a box in the house. You said you was gonna wash the dishes. I mean, vacuum the floor.
That's what you said?
That's literally what I said. That's what I said.
I don't remember that. I think you asked me about that later. Vacuum the floor upstairs?
In the stairs, I mean.
Golly.
That's what I was saying.
What?
That's what I was saying.
Saying what?
About the light. You talking about?
She was talking about the vacuum.
Adding stuff.
That's the only part of the house that has carpet.
Why are you yelling?
I'm not yelling. Now I'm yelling.
It's actually the same volume.
It's fine.
You think it's polite to call people ashy?
Okay. I was going to say let me prove you, but I don't even want to look for your ashiness, so it's okay. Alright.
I ain't ashy, I'm just dull.
Dull?
I don't know what that... I don't know.
You always breathing.
I'm not sure who to hit with the pillow first, but...
It wasn't that. I wasn't going to laugh until you ended up doing the right after she said it. It's like the deep exhale.
How about you never talk to our speakers? I mean, listeners.
Yeah, they want to know.
Right.
I'll listen next time.
You what?
I mean, I'll speak next time. Plan a course. Scrub the floor, like brush, you know, the nitty gritty parts of the thingy. And then like the other mop could be like a follow up every time.
Mop, don't stop.
So yeah.
Remember when you came in my room when I was up in there and shit?
I remember when Ashley was dancing. I thought she was following the choreography, but she was dancing.
You thought she was what?
She was following like
choreography.
What?
She was following. I thought she was watching a video, like learning how to do a dance, but she was just dancing.
What kind of dance was she doing?
I have no idea what she was doing. I don't even know. I was just like, I was confused, and I was like, oh, there's nothing playing on the TV.
She had her headphones in there?
No.
I had my music.
There was music playing, but like it was just more of like.
See, that's what I'm trying to learn how to do, which speaks volumes to like me actually doing it.
Yeah, she looked like she was learning in the moment.
I wasn't learning. I was just trying to see. This is why I was. There's no music in here. Be my bow, bow,
bow, bow, bow, bow, bow. Oh,
bow, bow, bow. Come on, come on.
Like that's what you were doing. I'm trying to figure out. Like,
that's not what she was doing.
I can't do it.
Hey Siri, play music.
You're going to beat drop.
Huh?
Let the beat drop. Come on, come on with the beat. Come on with the beat.
What?
Boom, boom, boom,
Boom.
boom.
That's-
I was not in the band, so I don't really know.
I wasn't in the band either.
Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, 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 boom. Bruh.
I thought she was learning like there was a dance back then that she had to. Now watch me. Is it what? Nene?
Yeah, it was that
Okay.
one. I don't know why I thought about that. What's that one where they got the Nucky If You Buck beat?
What is it?
The one was like, skinny jeans on, but you know my hair now.
Okay.
Hey. Now watch me do the dance now. Juju on the beat. Juju on the beat. Juju on it. Juju on it. Juju on the beat.
I'm
Now
old.
slide. Stop. Hit. Stop.
What had happened was,
Hey.
I was
Hey, run a minute.
I was in my like you know how my room.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how.
You supposed to get on the TikTok challenge.
Yeah, come on, show me how to do it.
I don't know how to do that. What's her name taught me? I don't know how to
You
do
don't know
it.
how to do it. You was taught.
See, I'm stiff. I'm very stiff. Nothing moves.
Alright. God,
What? Oh,
you
here.
know how to do it?
I don't know how to do it. I don't be on that.
There you go. See, you can't do it. It's
And
all in the ankles. They say.
in my little
Oh, what's the other one?
Dang, is that the window?
Yeah.
This episode part I know. This is like, oh, okay.
Shoot.
That escalated.
shaking the table.
All right.
That means relax. All right.
It's
Our actual picture. Okay, my face.
oh wait, let me be cute. Cause all my life I've been broke, but it really don't matter. No.
Brandon